Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you different ways that you can come up with cool ideas for SaaS applications. You guys kind of seen some of my SaaS content. If you haven't, I want to go ahead and welcome every single new viewer to the channel. I'm creating some consistent content here around micro SaaS, software as a service. It's something that I've been doing for years, along with creating other kinds of digital products online. It's how I set myself personally financially free. And so I'm going to give as much insight as I possibly can for anyone else who's going out there on this journey. So there are two places where you can really see this. I mean, there's more out there, but these are just the ones that I use if I'm really, I guess you could say, in a rut trying to figure out what to create next. And here you have producthunt.com, and then here you have there's an AI for that.com. These are two different websites that is really kind of profound in the amount of SaaS applications on them. And, you know, the cool thing about these websites is they're always being updated. There's always content being added to it. And so let's go ahead and show you a real life example as to how to actually take advantage of this, okay? So when you're creating micro SaaS, what you really want to do is you want to have what's called a micro solution to a micro SaaS, right? There are problems in this world. Everybody has all kinds of problems, and people are looking for services. They're looking for products to streamline their problems, make them easier to handle, less issues, less, I guess you could say, frustrations on a daily basis, first world problems. But hey, these are ways that you're going to capitalize. And sometimes you have to think to yourself, you know, what products can I create? In order for you to really discover that, you got to discover truly different niches, different, you have to be aware of these problems that people have. And a good way of reverse engineering that is just look at other solutions that people are providing. I'm not telling you to copy and mimic what other people do. That's actually some pretty bad advice. I know there's other people who teach about micro SaaS and teach you how to build your own SaaS business, and they recommend copying other people's work. I'm totally against that personally. What I personally believe is just gaining insight, seeing what other people are needing, and then coming up with your own solution to things. So for example, right, here's an app called Strawberry. It's an AI browser that supposedly saves you 18 hours a week. Here's an app called Spring.new. Instantly build your own dream SaaS. So let's use this as an example. Let's use Spring, for example, as an example. The fact that there's a software, a SaaS, that is, it has 271, upvotes on Product Hunt. And what it does is it helps you build your own SaaS, means there's a need out there in the world, well, for people who want to build SaaS businesses, right? There's a desire, there's a marketplace for that. Let's look at this. Here it says, this is from Corgia, right? Ship fast without worrying about security. This is a software or a service or a SaaS that allows you to ship your application faster without having to be concerned with security parameters, DNS settings, bot takedowns, things like that. It's a solution. That's a problem that exists. You can reverse engineer by thinking of the problem. What's the problem that people have? People struggle with internet security for their online applications. That's an example, right? And so they're providing a solution for that. The nice thing is that you can learn and become essentially a savant in the technology that you want to build over time. You're building this application. You don't have to roll out a lot of features. You definitely don't have to roll out a lot of settings either. It's just that pointy solution, that solution that solves the exact problem in a very sharp manner, to say, not necessarily trying to be, play on words or anything, but very realistically in a sharp way, in a sharp manner. You're solving that very specific problem. So you can look through these applications, right? This is called Web Studio Animations, silky smooth, uninterrupted, scroll-driven web animations. So we can look into this. What is this exactly, right? We can hit play here. Let's hit this play video. I want to make sure that the audio is working on my Mac here. So let's go ahead and listen to it. Let's make sure.
Here are 1,000 animated elements synced perfectly with scroll. Who needs this on a website? Well, nobody. But this is what it takes to have super stable animation performance on different devices. Your device can be busy, your JavaScript can be smooth browser native animations made possible by the Scroll Timeline API.
So there you go. So this is an API you're probably going to have to install dependency or something like that in your app to use this. But this is a server that gives you better animations, better scroll animations throughout all different types of platforms. There's always a solution for everything, guys. And the interesting thing is you don't have to build the most successful app. I talk about this in my book all the time, is that a true micro SaaS solves a specific solution. We know that already. But we don't have to build it out past 5,000 MRR or anything like that. The reason why I say that is because, honestly, for my applications, once it's developing a few $1,000s a month, 3, 4, 5,000, I really don't try or attempt to go past that. I come up with the new product. There's two reasons. I like diversity. I personally prefer diversity. And number two, it's a easier, I guess you could say, landscape, right? For me to compete with businesses that are 10, 20, 30K in revenue a month, it's a lot more upkeep than people think. It's a lot more work. And more importantly, a lot of people say, oh, hire people, hire employees. Well, to be honest, I've been on both sides of the spectrum where I was hiring people, running a team, but I was also doing things solo. And honestly, I prefer being a solopreneur more. I know that might not seem as ambitious as other people who are out there, but guys, I've been in this game for 8 years, and I prefer to run things solo, honestly. And the reason why is because it's less management, less headaches, less worries. When you have an employee, you have to worry with their emotions, their problems on a daily basis. You have to make sure they're trained properly. You have to make sure they're doing things to protocol. They're not wasting time. They're not stealing. They're not, messing around with certain things. They're not saying that they're working, but they're saying that they're working, but they might not be working. There's so many issues with having a team. Me personally, I prefer, like I said, to be a solopreneur. Create the app, generate a little bit of income, move on to the next app, and so on and so forth. That diversity aspect also, guys, is protective inherently in of itself, right? If one SaaS does $5,000 a month and the other SaaS does $2,000, and I have another SaaS, let's just say that does $100, and then I have 4 other SaaSes that, make money here and there. If one SaaS goes down, let's just say my biggest contributor, the 5K, the one that's making 5K a month, well, I have, 6 other products that are generating income. So it's not like it's the end of my world. But if I put all my energy into one product, something happens for some reason. It could get hacked. And I know some people say, oh, it's impossible for my app to get hacked. Truth is, there are vulnerabilities in every app, okay? It could get hacked. It could somebody could steal it. Somebody could do some social engineering, figure out how to take whatever you have, your assets, your IP. Also, on top of that, you can have competition that really eliminates you. This is another thing about micro SaaS that I recommend is when you're creating a SaaS, sometimes when you cross that $5,000 field, you're gaining attention from the wrong people, and they're going to come in, create an app that's going to compete with you. They have a bigger financial budget than you. They have a bigger ads budget, and they wipe you out, right? That is possible. I know that might seem bad, but I'm a very relaxed type of individual now in the businesses that I run, and I prefer my sanity and my peace over everything, okay? So what I like to do, like I said, is I like to create these micro SaaS solutions, all right? Micro SaaS applications provide a very, very specific solution to a very specific problem. It doesn't have to generate a ton of money every month, just a little bit of income for the tool to generate a profit, okay? The bigger, the better, but of course, I'm not going to sit there and transfer my mental and inner peace, let's just say. I'm not going to sacrifice that, but I'll generate some income. 3, 4, 5,000 a month is more than enough. And then on to the next application. While that application is providing me what we can call passive income, I'm on to the next app. I'm on to the next thing. So you can look at these different applications and see, like, what are people willing to pay for? Like, for example, this app. This app is called Simply Write, distraction-free writing tool. For me personally, I mean, this is quite interesting. Anybody can use like a notes app on their phone, not even on their phone, but on their computers or something, as an alternative, like a text tool. But let's actually see this. Let's visit this website so we can see this. It says, just write, nothing else matters. And what? It's just a writing, it's just like a place where somebody can write. That's it. No account needed, no tracking, works offline, no ads. Start writing. Let's go ahead and click on this. Interesting. So you can just literally write, I guess. Interesting. So there's no money attached to this. There's no money being made. How is this, this is another thing. Is like, it's not a true SaaS unless you're producing income. it'd be very hard to produce an income off an app like this. I'm just gonna keep it real. Um, that's just my opinion, but uh, yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what it is. Maybe this person is a developer and they're just using this as their portfolio, I guess you can say. Um, but hey, it is what it is. But you can go ahead and look at kind of stuff like this and let it influence the way you create applications. And by the way, don't do what this guy did, in my opinion. Don't create apps for free for people to just use and you incur server costs. Make sure you generate a profit off of every single application that you're building. I'll make more videos. I'm happy to make more videos talking about this. But once again, this website is called there'sanaIforthat.com. You can also type in TAAFT.com for short. And you can also go to Product Hunt. Product Hunt is a lot more famous. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, and concerns. Once again, I appreciate all the new viewers. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching, and peace out. Bye.